The unexpected visitor. The night sky of the Mojave Desert blazed with countless stars, their light undimmed by the glow of distant cities. Dr. Samantha Chen stood outside her modest research facility, eyes fixed on the heavens. As the lead engineer for Project Stargazer, she had dedicated her life to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Tonight, like every night for the past decade, she hoped for a sign that humanity was not alone in the universe. A sudden flash caught her attention, a streak of light far too bright to be a meteor. Samantha's heart raced as she tracked its trajectory. Whatever it was slowing down, descending in a controlled manner. This was no natural phenomenon. "Carlos, Maria, get out here now," she shouted, her voice tinged with excitement and a hint of fear. Her two colleagues burst out of the facility, alerted by the urgency in her tone. They watched in awe as the object, now clearly visible as a sleek, silvery craft, touched down less than a mile from their location. A cloud of dust billowed around it, obscuring its form for a moment before settling to reveal a vessel unlike anything they had ever seen. "Is that what I think it is?" Carlos whispered, his eyes wide with disbelief. Samantha nodded, unable to find her voice. After years of searching the stars, it seemed the stars had come to them. "We should call the authorities," Maria suggested, reaching for her phone. "Wait," Samantha said, placing a hand on Maria's arm. Let's just see what happens first." As if in response to her words, a seam appeared in the side of the craft. It widened slowly, revealing a ramp that extended to the desert floor. The three humans held their breath, frozen in anticipation. A figure emerged from the ship, tall and lithe, with skin that seemed to shimmer like polished opal. Its head was elongated, with large, almond-shaped eyes that reflected the starlight. The alien, for there was no doubt that's what it was, took a few tentative steps down the ramp before collapsing to the ground. Without hesitation, Samantha sprinted towards the fallen creature. Her colleagues called after her, but their voices faded as she closed the distance to the alien ship. As she approached, she could see the alien's chest rising and falling rapidly. It was alive, but clearly in distress. "Hello," she said softly, kneeling beside the prone figure. "I'm here to help. Can you understand me?" The alien's eyes fixed on her, filled with a mixture of pain and wonder. It raised a hand, 6 slender fingers unfurling towards her. Samantha reached out, her own hand trembling slightly as it met the alien's. A jolt of energy passed between them, and suddenly, Samantha's mind was flooded with images and sensations. She saw a vast, shimmering city suspended in the rings of a gas giant. She felt the joy of soaring through nebulae and the terror of fleeing from dark, ominous ships that consumed everything in their path, and she understood the desperate mission that had brought this being to Earth. As the connection faded, Samantha gasped, overwhelmed by the experience. The alien spoke, its voice a melodic whisper that somehow formed words she could understand. "Help. Us. You. Only hope." Carlos and Maria had caught up, standing a few feet away, unsure of what to do. Samantha turned to them, her eyes shining with determination. "Get the medical kit from the lab," she ordered. "And Carlos, I need you to bring every tool we have. This ship needs repairs, and we're going to fix it." "But Sam," Maria protested, "we don't know anything about their technology. How can we possibly?" "We'll figure it out," Samantha interrupted. "We have to. The fate of not just one world, but many, depends on it." As her colleagues hurried back to the facility, Samantha turned her attention to the alien craft. Its sleek surface was marred by scorch marks and what looked like impact craters. Whatever battle this being had fled from, it had been fierce. The alien struggled to sit up, and Samantha gently supported its back. "I'm Samantha," she said, tapping her chest. "Can you tell me your name?" The being made a sound like wind chimes in a soft breeze. "In your language, perhaps, Lyra," it said. "Lyra," Samantha repeated, smiling. "Welcome to Earth. I promise, We'll do everything we can to help you. Over the next few hours, as the desert night gave way to a pink-tinged dawn, Samantha and her team worked tirelessly. Maria tended to Lyra's injuries, mostly minor, thanks to some kind of advanced healing technology integrated into its suit. Carlos and Samantha focused on the ship, guided by Lyra's telepathic instructions. The technology was far beyond anything they had ever encountered, yet somehow, Samantha found she could intuit its workings. It was as if the brief mental connection with Lyra had unlocked something in her mind, allowing her to see patterns and solutions she never would have imagined before. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the desert, Samantha stepped back from the ship. The worst of the damage had been repaired, at least enough for short-distance travel. She wiped sweat from her brow, leaving a streak of iridescent fluid, the ship's equivalent of hydraulic fluid, across her forehead. I think we did it, she said, her voice filled with amazement. Lyra approached, moving with more strength now. You have done more than repair a ship, it said, its melodic voice filled with gratitude. You have given hope to countless worlds. The alien's large eyes fixed on Samantha, and once again she felt the rush of a mental connection. This time, instead of memories, she saw a vision of the future. Earth, standing as a beacon of hope among the stars, its people venturing out to heal a wounded galaxy. As the vision faded, Samantha stumbled, overwhelmed by its intensity. Carlos caught her arm, steadying her. Sam, you okay? He asked, concern etched on his face. She nodded, unable to find words to describe what she had seen. Instead, she turned to Lyra. What happens now? The alien's expression was solemn. Now we must prepare. The enemy that destroyed my world will not stop. They will come here, drawn by the very qualities that allowed you to aid me, your creativity, your adaptability, your compassion. Who are they? Maria asked, her voice barely above a whisper. They are known as the Void Eaters, Lyra replied. They consume all in their path, leaving only emptiness behind. But where others saw only destruction, I saw potential. In humanity's hands, perhaps even the void can be filled with light. Samantha straightened, feeling the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. She looked at her colleagues, seeing the same mix of fear and determination in their eyes that she felt in her heart. Then we'd better get to work, she said. The world is about to change, and we need to be ready. As if in response to her words, the first rays of sunlight crested the eastern hills, bathing the alien ship in a golden glow. It was a new dawn, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy, and humanity, represented by 3 dedicated scientists in the middle of the desert, was ready to rise to the challenge. Lyra placed a hand on Samantha's shoulder. You have given us hope, the alien said. Now, let us give your people the stars. As they stood there, human and alien united in purpose, Samantha couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement. The universe was vast and full of wonders, but also dangers beyond imagination. Yet in this moment, with the rising sun at her back and the promise of the cosmos before her, she knew that humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The adventure was just beginning, a daring repair mission. The sun hung low on the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple as Samantha Chen piloted the retrofitted alien craft through Earth's upper atmosphere. Beside her, Lyra's opalescent skin shimmered with excitement and apprehension. In the rear of the ship, Carlos and Maria worked feverishly to stabilize the patchwork of human and alien technology, keeping them aloft. Approaching rendezvous coordinates, Samantha announced, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Lyra, are you sure your people will be here? The alien's melodic voice carried a note of uncertainty. The Lumina fleet should be waiting beyond your moon's orbit. If they received my distress signal, they will come. As they cleared the atmosphere, the vastness of space opened up before them. The familiar constellations took on new meaning now that Samantha knew there were worlds teeming with life among those distant stars. Suddenly, The ship's sensors lit up like a Christmas tree. Multiple contacts, Carlos shouted from the back. Big ones. A shimmer in space revealed a fleet of vessels that dwarfed anything humanity had ever constructed. Their hulls seemed to bend light around them, making them appear both there and not there at the same time. At the center of the formation was a massive ship that could have easily swallowed a small city. The luminous harmony, Lyra breathed, all evident in their voice. Our last hope against the Void Eaters. As they approached, a beam of scintillating energy enveloped their small craft, drawing them towards an opening in the largest ship's side. Samantha's hands tightened on the controls, but she forced herself to relax. This was why they had come. The interior of the hangar bay was a riot of color and motion. Beings of all shapes and sizes moved with purpose, some floating, others scuttling on multiple legs. The air was filled with a cacophony of sounds that somehow blended into a harmonious whole. As their ship settled onto the deck, a hush fell over the assembled aliens. All eyes turned to the small Earth vessel and its improbable crew. The boarding ramp lowered, and Samantha led her team out to face the gathered throng. Lyra stepped forward, addressing the crowd in a language that sounded like music given form. A tall, willowy being with skin like liquid mercury approached. Its voice, when it spoke, resonated in Samantha's mind rather than her ears. "I am Admiral Zinvara of the Lumina Confederation," it said. "Lyra tells us you have done the impossible, repaired a quantum fold drive with primitive tools and limited knowledge. Is this true?" Samantha squared her shoulders, meeting the Admiral's gaze. "We did what was necessary. Your technology may be advanced, but human ingenuity and determination can overcome any obstacle." A ripple of what might have been laughter passed through the crowd. Admiral Zinvara's liquid metal face shifted into what Samantha hoped was a smile. "Then perhaps there is hope for us yet," the Admiral said. "Come. There is much to discuss and little time. The Void Eaters draw ever closer to your world." As they followed the Admiral deeper into the ship, Samantha marveled at the technology surrounding them. Holographic displays flickered with information in languages she couldn't begin to comprehend. The walls themselves seemed alive, pulsing with energy. They entered a vast chamber dominated by a three-dimensional star map. Tiny points of light represented thousands of worlds, with angry red tendrils creeping across large swaths of the galaxy. "The Void Eaters advance," Admiral Zinvara explained, gesturing to the map. "They consume not just resources, but the very essence of life itself. Hundreds of civilizations have fallen, their worlds left as lifeless husks." Carlos stepped forward, his scientific curiosity overcoming his awe. But how? What kind of technology could do that? The Admiral's form rippled, a sign of distress. "It is not technology as you understand it. The Void Eaters weaponize the fundamental forces of the universe itself. They create localized areas of nothingness, not just an absence of matter, but an absence of the very laws of physics." Maria gasped. "That's impossible. You can't just turn off the laws of physics." "And yet, they have found a way," Lyra said softly, "which is why we need you." All eyes turned to the human team. Samantha felt the weight of expectations settling on her shoulders. "Us? What could we possibly do against something like that?" Admiral Zinvara's form coalesced into a more humanoid shape, perhaps in an attempt to seem less alien. "Your species possesses a unique quality, an ability to think in ways that defy logic, to find solutions where none should exist. You repaired a ship you should not have been able to comprehend. Perhaps you can help us repair the very fabric of the universe." The enormity of the task threatened to overwhelm Samantha. She looked to her teammates, seeing the same mix of fear and determination in their eyes. "We'll need to know everything," she said finally. "Every scrap of data you have on the Void Eaters, on your own technology, on the nature of the universe itself. And we'll need resources, labs, equipment, anything you can provide." The Admiral nodded. "You shall have it all. But be warned, the Void Eaters are not unaware of our efforts." They will come for Earth soon, seeing it as a threat to their dominion. We must work quickly. As if to emphasize the point, alarms began blaring throughout the ship. The star map flickered, zooming in on Earth's solar system. A cluster of angry red dots had appeared at its edge. "They're here," Lyra whispered, fear evident in their melodic voice. Samantha took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. "Then we'd better get to work. Humanity didn't come this far to let the universe blink out without a fight." Admiral Zinvara's liquid metal face formed into an expression of grim determination. "Indeed, let us hope that your species' renowned stubbornness is enough to stand against the void itself." As they hurried from the chamber, following alien scientists to hastily prepared laboratories, Samantha couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement beneath her fear. They were about to push the boundaries of science further than any humans had ever dreamed. The fate of not just Earth, but countless worlds hung in the balance. The greatest challenge in human history had begun, and Samantha Chen, along with her small team of Earth scientists, was ready to face it head-on. The repair job that had started it all now seemed trivial in comparison. This time, they weren't just fixing a ship, they were attempting to mend the very foundations of reality itself. As they entered the lab, surrounded by technology beyond their wildest imaginings, Samantha allowed herself a small smile. If anyone could find a way to fill the void with light, it would be humanity. After all, thinking outside the box was what they did best. The battle for existence itself was about to begin, and humanity was determined to make its mark on the universe, or die trying. Revelations and alliances. The laboratory aboard the luminous Harmony hummed with an energy that was both familiar and utterly alien to Samantha Chen. Holographic displays flickered with equations that seemed to defy the laws of mathematics, while strange devices pulsed with otherworldly power. Yet amidst the sea of advanced technology, it was a simple whiteboard that held the attention of both humans and aliens alike. Samantha stood before it, marker in hand, her brow furrowed in concentration. The board was covered in a mix of human mathematics and alien symbols, a visual representation of their desperate attempt to understand the nature of the Void Eater's terrible weapon. "Okay, let's go over this again," she said, her voice hoarse from hours of non-stop discussion. "The Void Eaters aren't just destroying matter, they're unraveling the very fabric of space-time itself." Carlos nodded, his eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. "Right. It's like they're creating localized areas where the fundamental constants of the universe just stop existing." "But that should be impossible," Maria interjected, frustration evident in her tone. "You can't just turn off the laws of physics." Lyra, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. Their opalescent skin shimmered with an intensity that seemed to match their excitement. "Perhaps that is precisely why you humans are the key. You see impossibility as a challenge, not an immutable fact." Admiral Zinvara's liquid metal form coalesced nearby, their thoughts resonating in the minds of all present. "Lyra speaks truth. In all our centuries of advancement, we never thought to question the very nature of reality itself. Yet in mere days, you humans have proposed theories that our greatest minds never conceived." Samantha turned back to the whiteboard, her mind racing. What if we're thinking about this all wrong? We're trying to stop the Void Eaters from unraveling reality. But what if instead we could reweave it faster than they can unravel it? A hush fell over the lab as the implications of her words sank in. Then, like a dam bursting, the room exploded into a flurry of activity. Aliens and humans alike began furiously working, inputting data into simulations, scribbling equations, and calling out ideas. As the excitement reached a fever pitch, a thunderous boom shook the entire ship. Alarms blared, and the holographic displays flickered ominously. Admiral Zinvara's form rippled with tension. "The Void Eaters have breached our outer defenses. We are out of time." Samantha's heart raced, but she forced herself to remain calm. "We need more time. Just a little longer and we might have a solution." The Admiral's liquid metal face formed into a grim expression. Then we shall buy you that time with our lives if necessary. Prepare yourselves. If we fail, you may be the last hope for not just Earth, but all of existence." As the Admiral's form flowed out of the lab, presumably to coordinate the defense, Samantha turned to her team. The fear in their eyes was palpable, but so was their determination. "All right, people," she said, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. "We've got one shot at this. Let's make it count." For the next hour, as the sounds of battle raged outside their lab, the unlikely team of humans and aliens worked with a fervor bordering on madness. Ideas flowed freely, each building upon the last, creating a tapestry of innovation that bridged the gap between human intuition and alien knowledge. Suddenly, Maria let out a cry of triumph. "I think I've got it. Look at this simulation." All eyes turned to her holographic display. It showed a visualization of spacetime being torn apart by the Void Eater's weapon, but then, like a self-healing wound, the fabric of reality knitted itself back together. "It's not about stopping them from unraveling reality," Maria explained, her words tumbling out in excitement. "It's about using their own energy against them, creating a cascading effect that reinforces the structure of spacetime itself." Samantha's mind raced as she processed the implications. Like a cosmic immune system, she breathed. "We're not fighting the void, we're vaccinating the universe against it." Lyra's skin pulsed with vibrant colors. This could work. But the energy requirements would be enormous. We would need to channel the power of a star itself. As if in answer to Lyra's words, the lab doors burst open. Admiral Zinvara flowed in, their form battered and flickering. "Our outer rings have fallen. The Void Eaters approached the core. Whatever you have planned, it must be now." Samantha looked at her team, seeing the same mix of fear and determination she felt reflected in their eyes. Then she turned to the Admiral, her decision made. "We need to get to your main power core, and we're going to need every scrap of energy this ship can muster." The Admiral's form solidified, resolve evident in every silvery droplet. "Then you shall have it. Follow me." As they raced through the corridors of the luminous harmony, the ship shuddered under the relentless assault of the Void Eaters. Crew members of a dozen different species rushed past, some injured, all with looks of grim determination on their alien faces. They reached the central power core, a massive chamber dominated by a swirling vortex of energy that hurt the eyes to look at directly. Samantha and her team immediately set to work, interfacing their hastily constructed device with the ship's systems. "This is insane," Carlos muttered as he made the final connections. "We're basically trying to reboot the universe." Samantha managed a grim smile. "When has that ever stopped us before?" As the last connection was made, a terrible rending sound filled the air. Through the viewports, they could see space itself tearing apart, revealing the horrifying nothingness of the void beyond. "It's now or never," Samantha shouted over the din. She looked to Admiral Zinvara. "Give us everything you've got." The Admiral's form spread out, merging with the ship's controls. The vortex of energy in the core blazed with impossible brightness, pouring into the human-made device. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. The void continued to spread, reality unraveling before their eyes. Samantha felt a moment of crushing despair. Had they failed? Then, like a ripple becoming a tidal wave, a pulse of energy burst forth from their device. It spread outward at impossible speed, washing over the encroaching void. Where it touched, reality seemed to reassert itself, the fabric of spacetime knitting back together. The Void Eaters' ships, caught in a wave of reaffirmed reality, began to break apart. Not with explosions, but with a quiet dissolution, as if the very laws that allowed their existence were being rewritten. As quickly as it had begun, it was over. The viewports showed only the star-studded blackness of normal space. The Void Eaters were gone. A cheer went up from the assembled crew, aliens of all species embracing one another and the stunned humans in their midst. Admiral Zinvara's form coalesced once more, their liquid metal face forming into an expression of awe. "You did it," the Admiral said, their thoughts resonating with wonder. "You've done more than save us. You've changed the very nature of reality itself." Samantha looked at her team, seeing the same mix of exhaustion and disbelief on their faces that she felt. "So what happens now?" she asked. Lyra stepped forward, their opalescent skin glowing with an inner light. "Now, we rebuild, and we learn. The universe has been forever changed, and we must change with it." As the implications of what they had done began to sink in, Samantha felt a weight settle on her shoulders. They had saved existence itself, yes, but at what cost? What unforeseen consequences might their actions have? But as she looked out at the stars, somehow brighter and more numerous than before, she couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. Humanity had taken its first real steps into a larger universe, and they had done so not with conquest or fear, but with innovation and courage. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Earth and its unlikely allies would face them together. The age of isolation was over. The true age of discovery was just beginning. As the luminous harmony set a course for Earth, carrying news of both salvation and transformation, Samantha Chen allowed herself a moment of quiet pride. They had stared into the void, and rather than flinch, they had filled it with light. The universe would never be the same, and neither would humanity. The cosmic renaissance, the return to Earth, was nothing short of triumphant. As the luminous harmony descended through the atmosphere, escorted by a dazzling array of alien craft, the world below watched in awe and trepidation. News of humanity's pivotal role in saving the universe had spread like wildfire, transforming overnight the way people saw their place in the cosmos. Samantha Chen stood on the bridge of the massive alien vessel, her heart racing as she saw her home planet growing larger in the viewscreen. Beside her, Admiral Zinvara's liquid metal form shifted restlessly, a reflection of the momentous nature of this first official contact. "Are you ready, Dr. Chen?" The Admiral's thoughts resonated in her mind. "You are about to become the bridge between two worlds. No, between Earth and the entire universe." Samantha took a deep breath, steadying herself. "As ready as I'll ever be. Though I never imagined my career in engineering would lead to becoming an interstellar diplomat." As they broke through the cloud cover, the sprawling expanse of New York City came into view. Central Park had been cleared to serve as a landing zone, its vast green space now dotted with hastily constructed platforms and a sea of expectant faces. The ship touched down with barely a whisper, a testament to the advanced technology at work. As the boarding ramp extended, Samantha felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned to see Lyra, their opalescent skin shimmering with excitement. "Remember," Lyra said, their melodic voice filled with encouragement, "you have already done the impossible. This is merely the next step." Nodding gratefully, Samantha squared her shoulders and led the procession down the ramp. The roar of the crowd was deafening, a mix of cheers, gasps, and the rapid-fire clicks of countless cameras. At the foot of the ramp stood a delegation of Earth's leaders, their faces a mix of awe and apprehension. As Samantha made the introductions, she couldn't help but marvel at the surreal nature of the situation. Here she was, a scientist who had spent her life looking to the stars, now standing as the bridge between humanity and a cosmos teeming with life and wonders beyond imagination. The days that followed were a whirlwind of activity. Press conferences, diplomatic meetings, and scientific symposiums blurred together as Earth grappled with its new reality. The revelation that humanity had played a crucial role in saving the universe from the Void Eaters had sparked a global renaissance of scientific and cultural advancement. Universities around the world began offering courses in xenobiology and alien linguistics. Artists created works that melded human perspectives with alien aesthetics, giving birth to entirely new forms of expression. And in labs across the planet, human scientists worked alongside their alien counterparts, pushing the boundaries of knowledge further than ever before. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were those who feared the rapid changes, who saw the influx of alien knowledge and technology as a threat to human identity and independence. Protests erupted in some cities, calling for a return to isolation. It was during one such tense moment, as Samantha addressed a crowd of concerned citizens outside the newly established Interstellar Cooperation Center in Geneva, that a breakthrough occurred. "I understand your fears," she said, her voice carrying across the square. "The universe we discovered is vast and often terrifying. But consider this, in the face of the greatest threat existence has ever known, it wasn't advanced technology that saved us. It was human ingenuity, our ability to think outside the box, to see solutions where others saw only problems." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Our new allies don't want to replace us or erase what makes us human. They need us precisely because of our unique perspective. We have something to offer the universe that no other species can." As she spoke, a murmur ran through the crowd. People were pointing to the sky, their eyes wide with wonder. Samantha turned and gasped. The air above the city was filled with shimmering, translucent structures, bridges, arches, and spiraling towers that seemed to be made of light itself. Admiral Zinvara's voice resonated in her mind. "A gift," the alien explained. "A demonstration of what is possible when your human creativity is combined with our technology. These structures exist in a state between matter and energy, a physical manifestation of the barrier you helped us break." The crowd's mood shifted palpably. Where there had been fear and anger, now there was awe and a budding excitement. People reached out, their hands passing through the shimmering structures, feeling a warm tingle as energy and matter interacted in ways previously thought impossible. This display of cosmic architecture marked a turning point in Earth's adaptation to its new role in the universe. It sparked a global movement of innovation and exploration, as humans eager to make their mark on the cosmos threw themselves into learning and creating. Samantha found herself at the heart of this new age of discovery. The garage workshop where she had first repaired Lyra's ship was transformed into the headquarters of the Cosmic Engineering Corps, a multinational organization dedicated to pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Under her leadership, the CEC tackled challenges that would have seemed like science fiction mere months ago. They developed ways to harness the energy of quantum fluctuations, created materials that could adapt their properties on the fly, and even began preliminary work on technology that could manipulate the fabric of space-time itself. But perhaps the most profound changes were happening on a smaller scale. In schools across the world, children were growing up with a new perspective on their place in the universe. They learned about alien cultures alongside human history, and dreamed not just of visiting other countries, but other worlds. One evening, as Samantha stood on the observation deck of the new International Space Elevator, a joint human-alien construction that reached to the edge of Earth's atmosphere, she reflected on how far they had come. Lyra joined her, their presence a comforting reminder of the friendship that had started this journey. "Your people continue to amaze us," the alien said, gesturing to the globe below, now dotted with the shimmering lights of alien embassies and research centers. "In the face of such enormous change, you have not just adapted, you have thrived." Samantha smiled, her eyes fixed on the stars above. "That's what we do best. We're explorers at heart, always pushing boundaries, always asking what's next." As if in answer to her words, alert chimed on her communicator. It was from the deep space array they had constructed in collaboration with the Lumina Confederation. A signal had been detected from a distant galaxy bearing hallmarks of artificial origin, a new civilization reaching out across the cosmos. Samantha felt a thrill of excitement. Once, such a discovery would have been the culmination of her life's work. Now, it was just another step on humanity's grand journey into the unknown. "Well," she said, a spark of adventure in her eyes, "shall we go say hello?" Lyra's skin shimmered with anticipation. "Lead the way, Dr. Chen. The universe awaits." As they headed towards the elevator that would take them to the awaiting starship, Samantha couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Humanity had not just found its place among the stars, It had become an essential thread in the cosmic tapestry, weaving together the past and future of the entire universe. The repair job that had started it all now seemed like a distant memory. They weren't just fixing ships anymore, they were helping to shape the very destiny of existence itself. And this, Samantha knew, was only the beginning. The quantum frontier. The starship Nova's Horizons hung in high orbit above a swirling gas giant, its sleek hull a testament to the fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology. On the bridge, Dr. Samantha Chen stood before a holographic display, her eyes fixed on the data streaming in from the planet below. "This is unprecedented," she muttered, her voice a mix of excitement and disbelief. "The quantum fluctuations in this planet's core, they're like nothing we've ever seen before." Admiral Zinvara's liquid metal form coalesced beside her, their thoughts resonating with curiosity. "Indeed, it seems your theory about quantum entanglement on a planetary scale may have merit, Dr. Chen." 5 years had passed since Earth's integration into the galactic community, and humanity had wasted no time in making its mark on the cosmos. The Nova's Horizons, with its crew of both humans and aliens, was the flagship of Earth's new exploratory fleet, pushing the boundaries of known space and science. Lyra, now the ship's chief science officer, joined them at the display. "If we can harness these fluctuations, it could revolutionize faster-than-light travel. We might be able to create stable wormholes, or even manipulate the fabric of space-time itself." Samantha nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "Prep a quantum probe. We need to get more detailed readings from the core." As the crew sprang into action, Samantha couldn't help but marvel at how far they'd come. The fusion of human theoretical physics with alien practical knowledge had led to advancements that would have seemed like magic just a few years ago. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Massive energy spike detected." Carlos shouted from his station. It's like the planet is folding in on itself." The holographic display exploded with light, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. When they looked again, the gas giant was gone. In its place was a swirling vortex of energy, pulsing with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space. By the cosmic core, Admiral Zinvera breathed, their form rippling with awe. "It's a natural quantum gateway." Samantha's heart raced. This was it, the discovery of a lifetime. "Can we send a probe through?" Lyra's opalescent skin shimmered with excitement. "Better than that. I think we can stabilize the gateway. We could send the ship through." For a moment, the bridge was silent as the implications sank in. Then, like a dam bursting, everyone began talking at once. Ideas flew back and forth, calculations were made, and equipment was hastily modified. Hours passed in a blur of frenetic activity. Finally, Samantha stood before the main view screen, her hand hovering over the control that would propel them into the unknown. "All systems a go," Carlos reported, his voice tense with anticipation. Samantha took a deep breath, looking around at her crew, human and alien alike, united in their quest for knowledge. "Well, my friends," she said with a smile, "shall we make history?" With a chorus of affirmations, Samantha activated the drive. The Nova's Horizons surged forward, enveloped by the swirling energies of the quantum gateway. For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, reality itself appeared to bend and twist around them. Then, with a flash of indescribable light, they emerged into a realm beyond imagination. The view screen showed a vista that defied comprehension. Structures of impossible geometry floated in a sea of living light. Beings of pure energy danced among stars that pulsed with conscious thought. "Where are we?" Maria whispered, her voice filled with awe. Lyra's voice was hushed with reverence. "I believe we have entered the quantum realm itself, the underlying fabric of reality." As they watched, the swirling energies around them began to coalesce, forming into a shape that radiated intelligence and power beyond measure. A voice, if it could be called that, resonated not just in their minds, but in the very atoms of their being. "Vuriel Silomin, children of Matia and Vuoiti, it said. We have long awaited your arrival. Samantha stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. Who? What are you? The being's response sent shivers of excitement and terror through every member of the crew. We are DARCITCTS of Roy Elitui, the WEVA and Hirolan are DAKEOI to the next great UNFFOLTIing. In that moment, Samantha realized that their journey of discovery had only just begun. The repair of an alien ship had led them across the galaxy, but this was the threshold of a cosmic revolution. As the crew of the Novus Horizons prepared to engage with these beings of unimaginable power and knowledge, Samantha felt a sense of destiny settling upon her shoulders. Whatever came next would reshape not just humanity's understanding of the universe, but the very nature of existence itself. The quantum frontier stretched before them, filled with mysteries beyond imagining and discoveries that would challenge the very foundations of reality. And humanity, led by a once humble engineer from Earth, was at the forefront of this cosmic renaissance. Well, Samantha said, a glint of determination in her eye, let's see what the universe really has in store for us. With that, the Novus Horizons ventured deeper into the quantum realm, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of not just Earth, but countless civilizations across the cosmos. The greatest adventure in the history of existence had begun, and humanity was writing its opening chapter. As they journeyed into the heart of reality itself, Samantha couldn't help but smile. From repairing a ship to reshaping the cosmos, it had been one hell of a ride, and the best was yet to come.